Hey YouTubers and friends, how you doing out there? Excellent, I hope. I see we have a pretty good room here full of our friends from far and near. I have two homies with us tonight from back home in the beautiful Pacific Northwest. We have Sluice Goose, Boyce from Discovery's Devil Canyon, and his mining partner, Magic Mike, and we'll be right back.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Tuesday Night Hangout Live. It's Tuesday night, Hangout Live. It's Tuesday night, Hangout Live. It's Tuesday night, Hangout Live. With your hosts, and Marvin, ToledoJess, and Dano. Tuesday Night Hangout Live is a Flash in Your Pan production.
Hey YouTubers and friends, how you doing out there? I see Don from Washington, Dan from Cali, Jaron from Utah, Patrick from Indiana, and we have, geez, so many. David, Joseph, how are you doing, brother? So many more. John Shaw from Texas. We got a pretty good crew in the house, and good reason. We have some outstanding guests with us tonight. And I'm going to get my partners in crime in here real quick so we can get this party started. I'll bring Jesse and Dano and my other friends right up here. There they are. All disappear here and get out of the way so you don't have to look at this. Oops. Ah, still looking at it. Now I'm gone. How you doing tonight, Jesse, Dano? Just on a little stupid things, but yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, like Joseph said, one day this blonde in my strawberry will turn gray, and hopefully I won't have many more of those moments. uh, Try refreshing, Patrick. Can't hear Jess. Dan Zoller. It's on my end, Ed. I don't think so. Yeah, only hear Ed. Hmm. Damn it. Okay. Murphy's showing up. Huh. We are talking. It should be playing. Oh, I tell ya, everybody. That's okay. Let 'em laugh. Okay, let's see if that helps. Can you hear us now? Can hear quietly. Reload. Goose, where's your nutrients? Okay, well, The more you want to do, the more troubles can happen. And damn Murphy, right? I'm working on it. I'm working on it. Well, um, still just sad. Keep talking, Dano, eventually. Well, I know they can't hear. I'm working on it, guys. I'm working. Sorry, people. But if you could see me now, I'm frantically looking at what could possibly go wrong. Um,
I wonder if they
I don't know. Right. Can you hear? I hear you fine. Can you hear Goose, everybody? Huh. Just for a second. Well, that's because it was on my speakers, and I don't think I want that. Because then we'll. Well, Skype is giving us a bad signal. No virus, Mike. This is really starting to aggravate this Irishman. I'm working on it, buddy. I'm working on it. Might not be you. It might be. Right, 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 right.
If I put speaker to ear, I can barely hear them.
Did you read that
So,
comment, Jesse?
Okay, now
no, I
they
didn't.
should be able to start hearing us now.
I better hide that. I better hide that.
I didn't see it.
Okay, can you hear us all now? Hello?
Are you hearing us all now? You got us? Hello?
Oh, Patrick says everything's good.
Okay. Christine says,
I hear
there
you
you
all.
go. I hear
There we
you
go.
all.
All right.
Now we got
Okay.
I knew. See, I told you. All I had to do was refresh.
it. Okay.
You
Whatever.
fixed the
I
problem.
refreshed, and now we're back on.
All right.
That
I'm
sounds
sorry,
excellent.
everybody. Thank you for your patience very much.
We've already started the show without you.
I blame
Yeah.
it on Murphy. It wouldn't be that I'm a partial blonde. So, guys,
Anyways, as I started to say before, we weren't even being heard.
right.
I want to say hi to my brand new great granddaughter,
Oh yeah.
Meredith Elizabeth
Congratulations.
Lee Renault.
Congratulations.
That makes three.
Hi.
Be a first time grandpa in May.
Yeah, cool. It's fun.
2 cans of Mountain Dew and send it home.
That's
Yep.
right. Chocolate, Mountain Dew, send it
No,
home.
don't even leave them. Bring them over for a minute and take them back with you.
There you go. There you go. Yep, we can spoil them and send them back.
That's
Well,
right.
Geez,
So
it
we
makes
already
you feel
introduced
older.
our guest tonight.
Well,
How you doing,
there-
Goose and Magic Mike? Well, you can speak now.
Hi, everybody. It is the Goose and Magic Mike, and we are all up in this mother. In the house.
You know it. They've been having fun watching us go crazy, trying to figure out the hell's going on.
I'm sure they had a good
I don't know.
laugh there.
Oh yeah. Oh, of course. Good thing they couldn't hear. Did you hear what we were saying? Could you hear us?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Did you hear what Ed was saying when he figured out everything was wrong? Because that was really bad.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So how you guys doing?
Us? We're doing great.
Well, yeah, you're here for us to talk to you. Yeah. When I ask a question, I'm usually going to ask it to you.
Oh,
you know, it's either going to be Goose or Magic Mike. You know.
We're doing good. We went out yesterday, and you know, I think you heard we put our bear den dig site into hibernation. It's just too cold.
Right.
We drag all the equipment in, got in there only to find out everything's frozen. Had to turn around, drag it all out. Mike almost got killed by the water pump falling off of my backpack, and yeah, he took one for the team and threw his body in front of it.
Man.
Yeah,
It was intense.
It was actually scary because that pump's 70 pounds, and all of a sudden my backpack got really light, and I looked underneath my arm because the canyon we're working in, it's like that.
We have rappel ropes.
Yeah, we got ropes to get in and out of there.
Wow.
That almost sounds like a spot I know on a I'm not going to say where it is, but it's on the Salton River. And you got to be a billy goat to get into that canyon I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, it's no joke. Most people, they want to go out with us. It's honestly, unless it's somebody we really know and think they're up to it. There's no way we're dragging most people into bear den. It's too dangerous to get in and out of there.
Now is that on? I know not long ago. Well, maybe at the beginning of the season or into the season, you were talking about and looking at property to claim. Did you stake a claim? Is the bear den on your claim?
No, that's public land right there. We're getting a claim in that spot would be too much of a nightmare because we were dealing with Fish and Game, DNR, PUD,
if
the
it's
city.
DNR, you have to have a lease instead of an actual claim, state land. And messing with PUD power, they can be real. Beep.
Oh yeah, yeah, and I mean then we have the city we have to deal with as well because. It's like the WPMA up here has all their claims up by Spada Lake, and that's the water reservoir for the city.
Right.
And neither of us want to get involved in that. So we looked into it, and it's just not worth the hassle. So we just got our HPA for the location. So we're authorized to dig there, and we're going to leave that as it is. It's not worth the hassle of trying to get that claim, but we are going to be looking at the Blewett Pass area this year to get a claim inside of.
Beautiful gold in Blewett and down in Liberty. I know the Salton River and it's been so long. Up by Nighthawk.
Still Squamish?
No, not still Squamish. It's on the dry side.
Pashaston. Gosh, there's so many of them over there.
It flows out of BC. It's up by Oroville. I'll think of it. Doggone it, I've even dredged in that river too.
Yeah, there's a couple of them over there.
Oh, jeez. Starts with an S, I believe. I'll remember it. It's been a long time. It's been going on over 9 years since I've been back home to begin with. So
you'll be talking about something else and it'll pop into your head.
Yeah. The Similkameen.
Similkameen, yeah. There's a lot of guys that dredge the Similkameen. There's even one YouTuber that's here local that does a lot of work in the Similkameen dredging.
Would that be Dennis Peterson?
I just know it on YouTube is like Gold Dredger 244 or 224, something like that.
Oh, okay. Well, I've probably seen it. I'm probably subscribed. But yeah, I dredged on that over 20 years ago. But I had my own claims up on Finney Creek in Skagit Valley. So Skagit County, which pretty nice gold there. But I played down in your neck of the woods a little there in Sky Valley. Some beautiful country there up above Index before.
Yep.
That river sure spits out a lot of garnets though.
Yes, it does. That we will have days where the inside of the sluice box will turn purple.
Oh, I believe it, especially up that way. Did they fix the road up above Index yet?
Not yet. It is supposed to be getting work in 2018. And when they finish that, that'll be nice because it'll reduce the time to get up to the claims up there half at least.
Oh, yeah. Because before now you have to go clear around and.
Yeah, you got to go all the way up over Jack's Pass and then down. It's all unpaved. So you're doing 30 miles an hour the whole way, and it's steep. But they're talking about having that road, what do they call it, Index Galena Road fixed sometime in 2018.
Wow, it washed out when I was back home in 08. Gee.
Oh, yeah. That was some post-apocalyptic looking stuff. We actually went up that area and did some testing in the where the road had completely washed out, and then we got over to the riverside and we didn't find anything.
We did not. No, that's not true. We did find something. But
well, we always find something.
True.
But it's just a question of how much, and it wasn't. I mean,
it wasn't worth it.
It wasn't worth going back out there again, anyways.
But I think we were newbies, and if we were smarter, we would have gone a little bit further upstream. I don't think we were looking in the right places at that time.
That's true.
Now, how long have you been prospecting, both of you?
4 years plus, probably. Because we were both doing a little bit on our own before we met, but we've been together pretty much every Monday for the last 3 years, I want to say.
Sometimes Sunday, Monday.
Yeah, sometimes a Sunday and Monday. It kind of depends on what we have planned.
And your work schedule, right? You work in a hospital, don't you, Goose?
Yes. Yeah. But it's just that's when both our days off line up, and Monday's kind of our reserved. We're going to go out and mine. But it's sometimes, like the last month, we haven't been able to go out up until yesterday, just because I took off for some vacation time. He'll take off for vacation. You're heading for Vegas here
day after tomorrow.
Yeah. So, he'll be gone for a little while.
But you were just down in my old stomping grounds where I grew up. Before I got smart and moved out. I grew up a mile directly north of the Matterhorn. From my balcony bedroom window or balcony, I had a perfect view of the fireworks every night, 9:35 on the dot. Boom.
Yep, that's when they start.
Did you eventually get tired of that?
Not really the fireworks. It was I'm kind of spoiled though, because everywhere I've been I'm like, I had that every night at 9:35, like here in Delphus, Ohio, of all places, their 4th of July. I'm like, that's nothing. I watched Disneyland's every night when I was growing up at 9:35. But Yeah, I'm glad I left that hellhole. Let me tell you. But and geez, I can't wait to get back home to Washington.
Oh man, no, I just noticed one of the comments that said, "Is it breakfast time?"
Oh yeah, from Tina.
Unfortunately, I have some family stuff I have to do later, so
no
I don't think it'd be
nutrients.
good showing up at the elementary or the middle school all sauced up.
Yeah, we're not gonna be able to hold you here for 4 hours or 5 hours like we've had other guests.
Oh man.
You know, we had did you see the show where we had Prospector John on?
No, I was unavailable for that one. I really wanted to see it. I can't remember what I was doing, but I remember it popping up and I'm like, God dang it, I can't watch.
Well, you can always watch it.
Yeah, you can always watch it anytime. It is there.
Oh yeah, that true fact.
It isn't the same thing though.
No, right.
Yeah, Goose's memory isn't all that long. You know, I see something, if I don't do it in the next 10 minutes, I forget it.
Oh, look, squirrel.
Yep, squirrel.
Squirrel. Oh, look, squirrel. In my case, it'd be more like, hey, raccoon.
So what made you guys get bit by the
So did you go
bullfrog?
look at the raccoon, Mike?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Yeah, he did. Well,
I did see it.
I was making enough racket. I'm like, Mike. He thought I was hurt or
I
something.
really think he had like broken his leg or something.
Yeah. So he comes running over there. I'm squatting in the bushes. I'm like, look, raccoon.
He's just waiting for him to be done so he could have a little snack.
Yeah, the raccoon's like, well, whenever you're done there, don't even bother covering that up for me. I'll
Soft serve.
With sprinkles?
Oh my goodness.
So when you were out there on Devil's Canyon, did you see John at all?
The short answer, yeah.
Yeah.
When you're out there,
Too much?
yeah, it's you learn real fast what you're made of, and you learn real fast what your deficiencies are. Because I was alone completely. A lot of people like to sit there and say, "Oh, you had a camera crew with you. Oh, you had a hotel was only 10 miles away." I was like, if there was some 10 miles away, I would have walked to it. But it was literally being alone out there, and there's a lot of self-reflection out there.
You know, that happens when you're by yourself.
Yeah, and you're literally starving. Yeah, when you're literally starving, and everything I did out there was.
We have a call coming in. Want to take it?
Oh, sure, why not?
Ray, how you doing? Or who's calling? Ray.
How's it going, Ed?
Good. I don't know why I have a bunch of numbers up there.
Hey, you're talking to Bryce?
You called in on the wrong number. You cut off my call. I gotta go. Call in on the show number when I open up the lines.
Maybe not.
Doggone it. They called
There's
on a whole separate number. And
There's
I'm like,
Ed.
hello, why is all these other things here? It was Ray from Sluice to You. I told him call when we open up the lines.
Will we get Jesse back yet?
I don't know.
I'm back.
It only
There he's
put you
back.
on hold. Okay, well,
I don't know what happened. All
since
of a
Ray from Sluice to You called to ask a question, but never mind. Though he called on the wrong number, and
He Skyped you. Oh, well, put the phone number up, Ed.
I will right now. I'll put
Call
it up.
now. The lines are open.
Lines are open now. Call that number, or I'll put
Operators are waiting for your call.
Yeah.
or I'll put my friends on hold. Live entertainment for you. You never know when Murphy will show up.
Oh man, I was also what happened. I saw my
We had a question from Randy Hunt out of Indiana for you,
All right.
Goose. It's a Devil's Canyon question. He wants to know why you built the float for the firebox instead of just a big lighter in a Ziploc bag.
The biggest reason I needed, the water was so cold, I needed some type of flotation device. And I was very concerned with the water temperature that I would even be able to really use a Bic lighter on the other side. If you watch it, you can see when I come out of the water, my body's pink because I was so cold. And it literally, if I wouldn't, it just made life a lot easier having immediate fire versus trying to build a fire. And believe me, I put a lot of thought into it. I had a lot of time to sit and think about that stuff. And if I got over there and my hands didn't want to work, and you could even see me do a kind of a test where I left one hand in the water for about a minute and then pulled it out, my fingers didn't even want to move. And so it was one of those, 6 of one, half a dozen of another, but what makes more sense? Carry the fire over there so I can warm up immediately, or sit and wait to build fire. So I opted to carry the fire across with me.
Could have just lit your whole body on fire.
Yeah, but that would have used fuel for the high banker.
Oh yeah, don't do that.
No,
Bad idea.
no.
Priority.
no, that would not have worked.
It's a good thing that didn't get douched out when it was pendulum across the river, or you would have been one little icicle over there on the
yes.
side.
But I did take a little. I mean, if you watch when I build it, I put layers underneath. I had the main logs underneath it.
Oh, then sand and dirt.
Well, then I had some wood that I hatcheted off of another log and built like shingles, and then I filled it with sand and then some moss. So as long as I didn't try and yank down on it, which I almost did, that as soon as I dropped in, I was like, holy crap, this is a lot colder than I thought. But it managed. I mean, it did well. It worked a lot better than I thought it was going to work.
Well, hey, you got it over there. That's what counts.
Yep.
Ray Sorazin has a question from Sluice to you. Why did you not go after placer gold laying in the bank? Don't dig in the banks here, Ray.
The part of the problem was Canadian law that I was dealing with.
And you were in BC, right?
Right. We were in British Columbia. I could do absolutely no work within the wetted perimeter at all. So if there was water from the river touching it, can't work in it. When I finally got over to the other side and had my camp all set up and everything, then I was working a large kind of gravel deposit. That's where almost every bit of gold I found came out of.
You in that big nugget?
Yep. I mean, and that's one thing they didn't show enough, but right where I crossed the river that there was a 90-degree bend on that, and the water coming downriver from that point was just ripping fast. And there was no place for any gold to settle, nothing. So as soon as it made that 90-degree bend, it just huge pressure drop, and it just dumped all the gold right into this giant sandbar I was standing, or pretty much where I was camped at.
Okay.
Yeah, I noticed you got a lot of negative comments about your first campsite.
Well, that's one. Yes. The one thing I tried to tell everybody is, and that's the one thing, the executive producer of the show said he had enough footage just on me alone to do my own series on. So you can only imagine how much got left out. And the one thing I did talk about is everything you see me doing out here is I'm shooting from the hip. I'm not a survivalist. I'm a gold miner. And they tried to turn it into a survival situation.
Right.
And I think they intentionally kind of, we were allowed to pick the areas we wanted to work, but I'm pretty sure they knew going into it. They're like, oh, Boyce is going to pick this spot right here because it's nice and open. He hates bears. It'll give him room to hear them if they're coming at him. And that's exactly what I did. And it was the worst spot I could have picked.
Okay, on that note, Jesse, wait up. I need to take a quick break for one of our sponsors. We'll be back more with Magik Mike and the Goose. So don't go away.
Mute.
All right. Well, what other questions do we have out there for our company here tonight? One from Chris Chadwick. Bear Den all closed up. What was the total for Bear Den for the year? Our good friend from Eastern Prospectors, Chris Chadwick.
We haven't even weighed that out yet, have we?
We have not.
Yeah.
How much gold you got?
The classic question.
Yeah. How much gold did you get? None. Don't ever go out there. It's horrible. No, it's honestly, it's all still sitting in a snuffer bottle. We haven't even weighed it out yet.
Except one really large one.
Oh yeah, we did have one real large clean out, but we haven't even weighed it yet. It's all sitting inside of a snuffer bottle, and we just got to get around to it. I mean, now we go out and we enjoy finding the gold and everything, but I think we just have more fun doing it. And at the end of the day, it's like, hey, we got a pile of gold. How much do we get? Well, I don't know. We got some gold though.
Yeah, that's it.
Here's a question. Jesse and I started kind of making this point because of a situation that happened. Some in the room would probably know about it. But how often now, or is it more than less, do people come up to you and say, I know you. You're Goose. You're Sluice Goose. You're Boyce. Magik Mike. I watch all your videos.
That has not happened once.
Oh,
really? It will.
I mean,
Really?
it will. Once in a while, I'll get noticed from
Devil's Canyon.
Devil's Canyon at work, and it's funny. I try and play it off, but people will just stare at you. They will. You'll be in the grocery store line, and they'll just stare. Yeah, they're like, I know you from somewhere, and I'm like, no, you don't.
Of course, if you were to see me, I'd go, that's Goose, and I'd come up to you.
Yeah.
Hey, how you doing?
So would I. Hey,
Every now and then somebody will walk up and be like, you're that guy from that show. I'm like, what show? But it happens occasionally. I work at a really large facility, so sometimes the staff will be like, oh, see that guy over there? He was on that Discovery show. And then all of a sudden the patient wants to come waddling out in their gown and take a picture. And I'm like, no. Get back in the room. Get back in the room. No pictures.
I'm actually surprised none of your YouTuber community back home hasn't actually seen you. And granted, it's not like here in the Midwest. Like,
yeah.
I could be back home up behind my house, up the Skagit River, looking for gold, and I wouldn't see nobody all day.
Yeah.
Nobody. Here it's a bit different, but
Well, I mean, we went to a gold show last year, and pretty much as soon as we walked in, we got mobbed. It was my first experience with like having people recognize who I was, and it was a little overwhelming at first because it was like everybody wanted pictures and hey, come over and look at this, hey, come over and look at that, and you know, we just shake hands, smile, take pictures, and you know, but it kind of seems that in public everybody's really cool. You know, they want to know how we do what we do. I mean, just all the basic questions. And they also want to know how much beer we're actually dragging into a dig site with us.
It's got to be barrels, right?
Oh, no. It's not near what most people think. That's the power of editing.
right,
Power of
right,
editing.
right.
Yeah, I actually had that happen to me too. I was at Crater Diamonds, and I was doing a little video on the process of being out there,
Mm-hmm.
and I got mobbed by this guy, and he wanted to, hey, I know you, you're ToledoJess.
Yeah.
I got a whole
All
mob
the
of
way in
one guy.
Arkansas.
But I mean, honestly,
But, you know,
nobody really
I guess
recognizes.
something like that.
Now, which gold show was that?
Actually-
Lost Wages, or was that like in Monroe, or
That was the Monroe one.
Puyallup? Oh, okay.
But there was that one time we went
Evergreen
into when we broke the pump.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Right. Harbor Freight.
Yeah, we went into Harbor Freight because we broke the pump out of Bear Den, and the employee there was getting ready. No, this isn't under warranty, and da da da. And she called the manager up, and we were sweating. We weren't going to get a replacement pump. And the guy walks up and he goes, "I know you guys," and it was the manager. And,
Cool.
and he's all, "Make it happen. Get him a new pump. Take care of him."
Your celebrity status
Oh,
right
geez.
there, helping you out, dude.
I'll take that all day long. If we
More
get a new
power
pump
to
out.
you, bro. More power to you. I tell you though, when I'm back home visiting and I'm up in your neck of the woods, my son and daughter live in the Ole Scott Lake area. My mom lives in Vancouver, and I'm not up towards the Everett, Seattle, and up towards the Sky Valley much anymore. But if I get out there and you're willing to drag an old man around with you guys, I can go through some.
We got a couple of good spots to drag certain people out to. They're spots that we just go there when we don't want to do anything too adventurous or.
Well, I'm game for some adventure, you know. I'm not that old.
Well, we kind of we're an all or nothing
right
kind of group. It's most of our spots are you just got to be a little sure-footed to get over the boulders and stuff, and then we got stuff like, okay, put the rappelling harness on. If you fall, sign here. We're not responsible.
Right.
carrying you
I
out.
understand that.
Yeah, and we don't call it Bear Den for nothing. So you might turn into a little morsel for a little fur critter running around.
If considering some of the scat piles I've seen on the trail, hiking down to some of the spots in the Sky Valley, I know where you're coming from, buddy. That's why I walk around with my stick going, "Yo, bear! Scat cat! Yo, bear!" Bears don't really bother me. It's those cougars that bother me. Hey,
that's the concern of the big cats. The bears we can deal with. It's the big cats that you won't even see those coming.
We got a caller, gentlemen. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from? Please turn down your
It's
volume.
Ray from Canada.
Hey, Ray, how you doing?
Good. Yourself?
I'm doing real well.
Evening, Ray.
Evening.
You got
How's it going,
your
Ray?
dog muzzle?
Good. Yourself?
You have a question for Goose and Mike?
Oh, I'm just going to talk to him for a few minutes and, yeah, be on my way.
All right.
What can we do for you?
With that?
What can we do for you, man?
Oh, nothing. Is this Bryce?
It is.
Hey, Bryce, it's Ray.
How are you, sir?
I am just fine. Hey, I'm missing you in the club.
It's which club?
The prospecting club.
The prospecting stuff is, I'm trying to stay active on a lot more of the social media. We've been I've been dealing with some life stuff the past few months, and it's finally almost all wrapped up. But the long and short of it, I was fighting a real big custody battle to get my kids. And so a lot of other than my basic YouTube and stuff, I kind of pushed everything off to the side because I had a lot bigger stuff to focus on. But the good news is, I got the kids.
Yeah, perfect. Hey, it doesn't surprise me that most of the gold you got was placer. I would have liked to seen you concentrate on that a bit more, but you did what you did, and it was a great show. We enjoyed it.
Good.
And it's just too bad that it couldn't have been longer and you had a few more episodes. But I enjoyed watching you do the placer thing. I enjoyed watching you find the nugget. I enjoyed...
Oh, believe me, I liked finding that nugget. Yeah, there were a lot of pickers in there.
Yeah, it would have been a few swear words if I found it.
I was trying. That was one thing I had to keep in my mind is, I was the only person out there that had a family, and I was trying to keep it a little family friendly because, if I want to do it not family friendly, I can just save that for YouTube.
Yeah, I hear you. Really. I was in one location here in Alberta where I got a pan, did a test pan, and I got about 6 or 7 pickers.
Oh, wow.
And if you don't think that it wasn't, and there was families right around. That was a hard one,
Angry looks.
Well, you have to expect that. You have to expect that out in the wild.
Yeah. So, have you heard about a season 2, or is that it, or?
It's right now. It's on kind of to be determined. The show, how they rate the shows is you have what are called your national ratings, and then you have +3, or P+3 is what they call it. So the national numbers did okay. It averaged right around 800. I want to say just under 800,000 viewers an episode, which is not bad. It's not a hit, but it's not bad. But when you start adding the +3 in there, that's all the DVR data. And when you added the DVR data in, which takes like 2 weeks post facto, and you plug that in, the show was a monster. It was one of the most heavily DVR'd shows in Discovery history. And I mean, it took the numbers pushing the 2 million mark. And the problem is advertisers hate DVRs because you can fast forward through the commercials.
Get right by them.
Yeah, hey, I was DVRing my own show because there were too many commercials in it.
Right.
I mean, it's honestly, I called the producer one day and I'm like, what the heck? We're getting 43 minutes out of an hour. And he goes, yeah, welcome to network TV. And so the DVR thing kind of hampered it because you didn't get the big numbers that they wanted to see right out of the gate. But from what I've heard is season 2 is to be determined at this point. Mainly because Discovery just bought out a huge network for $14.5 billion. So they are choosing to only run with what their known hits are. And of course, what do? They brought Cash Cab back.
I saw that.
Yeah, and they're bringing Orange County Choppers back. I mean, Orange County Choppers, that died a slow, horrible death. Let it stay dead.
Yeah,
No doubt.
I agree
No
with
doubt.
that.
Now,
Hey, well, I got to get going here. So I'll tell you what, Bryce, you, Ben, and Simon and I one day got to get together.
Absolutely.
And we got to go chase our dreams.
Absolutely. I'm a deal on that. I'll chase dreams all day long. The wife may disagree with that. She looks at me and she goes, is this dream going to pay the bills?
Because you're kind of like me. The thrill is in the hunt.
Yep, absolutely. Yep. It's
So
more.
I got to go. Dano, you take care.
Yes, sir.
Everybody else, Bryce, you have a great day, and we'll look forward to seeing you sometime.
Yep. Take care, sir.
Take care,
You
Ray.
bet.
Bye, Ray.
Goodbye. Nice to talk to y'all.
Nice chatting with you too.
All right, that was Ray from Sluice to You Pay Dirt on Facebook. Yeah, his show was pretty interesting. I swear
Yeah,
his wife
that was-
was
that
going
was
to
a
kill their dog at the beginning. Don't you beep and growl at me. Now, I
It was a good
have
intro.
question I've been dying to ask you. Boyce, right? Or do you
Yeah.
prefer Goose?
It depends on where I'm at. Some people call me Boyce. Some people call me Goose. Some people call me, hey, crap for brains over here.
Or just hey.
Yeah, just hey. Honestly, I answer to about 9 different variations of my name. People that I've worked with for 4 years still call me Bryce and Bryant and Brian, and I'm just like, okay, whatever.
Okay, I might butcher your last name, but okay, Goose. Now, during the show, got a caller, but I'll answer it. I'm glad all these. Hold on, caller, 1 second. I got a quick question. I was right in the middle. Now,
Go ahead.
Excellent, John. I've been
Sound
wanting
like
to
Thomas.
ask you this. Oh, I might be wrong. Okay, but I know you flashed your goose on your pen. Now, how many times did you want to go, Sluice Goose, during Devil's Canyon?
They actually took out one of the coolest scenes. I couldn't believe it. It was right after I crossed the river the first time. And I mean, when I got out of the water and finally got warmed up, I started screaming and howling that I said something. I was yelling and screaming, I'm the goose, I'm ugly as sin, and I am twice as crafty. You can't beat me. And but they were pretty specific about me when I went out there, and they sat me down and they said, listen, we've seen your YouTube stuff. The goose stays at home. And we got to see you in the raw. And I'm like, well, that kind of is me.
Right. At least you got the goose on your pen in there,
Yeah.
which was cool. All right, caller, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, this is John from Texas. How y'all doing this
right.
evening?
Hey, John.
Hey, John.
Hello,
That's right.
John.
Mr. John
Hey.
Shaw, how you doing?
John
bud?
Shaw finds gold in his driveway, dude.
You never know where it is till you look for it.
Well, that is the truth. That
Gold
is
is
the
where you
absolute
find it.
truth. Yeah.
Yeah. I just had one question, and I don't know, you may have answered it before, but where'd the name Goose come from?
Oh man, that's kind of a long story. I'll try and Reader's Digest it for you as best as possible. I was in the Marine Corps. We're out in 29 Palms, out in the Delta Corridor. Tank broke down. The mechanics didn't want to mess with it, and we needed to get the thing up and running. And I remember crawling underneath the tank, reaching up inside of it. I had grease and oil all over the place. I mean, I was just covered in it. I took a bath in this stuff. Ended up getting the tank running, but the long and short of it is I came crawling out from underneath the tank, and one of the guys said, man, you are ugly as sin. And I just went, but I'm twice as crafty. And it was kind of funny because one of the other tank crewmen sitting there was like, oh my God, it's the Goose from Mad Max. And that was his saying was, I'm the Goose, I'm ugly as sin, and I'm twice as crafty. And it just kind of stuck.
Mad
All
Max.
right.
Yeah.
One of my favorite movies too.
Oh yeah, but and if you've ever seen the original Mad Max, the Goose character he's a nutter, like me, and so it kind of fit and it stuck.
All right. Like I say, I was always wondering where that came from.
Now you know, John. Now you know.
That you found out my secret.
All right. Well, y'all just keep up the good work. I enjoy the vids, and I'll keep following and keep watching.
Awesome. Good. Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
And don't forget, upload those nutrients.
Definitely. That's what the infantry runs on, and nutrients.
Yep.
All right, y'all take care.
You too, John. Thank you very much. Actually, John is actually part of our Flash in Your Pan team, Goose.
Okay.
John's actually one of our patrons through Patreon. Thank you very much for all you do for us, John.
Hey, I got a question for you guys. Patrick Moore in the chat room wants to know if you've ever had a bad run-in with the DNR.
No,
How about a good
we haven't.
Any good ones?
No good ones either. My one time I actually ran into a guy that was wearing his black uniform with the big DNR on its back. It was uneventful at best, and I wasn't out mining at the time. So we've actually been really good about, any of our interactions.
Never really.
No,
had
well,
any
you guys
issues.
probably go to spots where they don't even want to go. It's too hard to get to.
True.
Yeah.
There's an advantage to being like that, then, huh?
Terrain in the Cascades, believe me, Patrick, it's nothing like Indiana. Nothing.
But most of our spots, every now and then we'll run into the random steelhead fishermen, they'll want to come over and what are you guys doing?
What are you doing?
Did you find any gold?
Yeah. What are you guys doing over here? I don't know. Washing rocks.
Finding gold? No.
Yeah. Do you find any gold? No. We just like doing this.
We're looking for fossils.
Yeah. But when it comes to fish and game or DNR or anybody else, we did have that one park crew that one time.
Oh yeah, but he wasn't
Yeah, but we had there's one.
He wasn't
spot,
official.
Yeah, not an official one that could deny us our rights or anything. And
right.
But we really haven't had any interactions with any of the alphabet soup agencies.
We barely see anybody out there.
Yeah.
Right. Like I said, where you
that's
guys
how
go,
we want to keep it.
No, those guys don't want to crawl down that rope or down that bank or anything,
You know what I found that helped back home, guys, is I would take out trash with me, especially
always.
When I was back in the woodland area a lot. I'd frequent up Canyon Creek, and it was on Weyerhaeuser property, and then I forget the national forest down there, but I'd take all the trash to the ranger station, and I met up with the Weyerhaeuser crew, and they see trash in my back, and they're like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Picking up trash. I was prospecting. I'm picking up after hippies camped down the road who left diapers in their hearth."
Right.
And
that's one thing we do is anytime we go out and we find trash, we always pick it up. And I talked about this in one of my earlier videos, about other prospectors. It's kind of like the firearms community. We're our worst own enemy sometimes.
Right. Well, and we've been here in Ohio. We just had a situation where some of the people videoing and stuff don't always put us in the best light, supposedly.
Right.
And I think the best thing that we can do is, especially as YouTubers, is maybe throw some of that video in where you're cleaning up and how much trash you're taking out. Yeah, this is what we took out today. Throw that in there. It wouldn't hurt.
No, it wouldn't hurt
because those guys are watching these videos too. The DNR and
we had a major hit on a major location we go to. No, it was actually the Corps engineers is who come on bill.
Was that who it was?
It
was the Corps of Engineers
that contacted Sonny.
Right.
The EPA contacted Sonny, and the Army Corps of Engineers contacted Bill Hellam.
Yep, and they want him to have a permit now.
Well, eventually they want to steal that from us and make us pay for something.
Yeah,
permits and licenses and it's nothing but theft. It's
right. So one of the other questions we got in the room here a little earlier was, do you dredge at all?
I actually sold my dredge.
That
yeah. The part of the problem is I bought the dredge a couple years ago with the hopes of spending a lot more time, both of us out in the water dredging, and it got to the point where the state regulations are such short windows on dredging. It's I'm actually really envious of a lot of the guys that are back east. It seems like they get to dredge year round in their creeks and stuff. Everything in Washington revolves around fish.
Oh yeah.
And like in Bear Den, that area that I'm in is known for the gold that's in the water. It's not up on, we're finding it where we're at, but the big stuff's in the water. And in my permit, they even went through the hassle of putting it in big, black, bold, capital letters. Absolutely no work in the wetted perimeter. And I believe in that area, that whole river, the claims that the WPMA have, those are the only claims on that river you're allowed to dredge, period. They will not approve anything new. They will not issue any more HPAs to dredge inside of that river.
And that's funny. You're envious of the fact that we get to dredge, right? And we're envious of the fact of the size of the gold you find. We find
it ain't
lots
like
of gold,
California and Washington.
Flea poop. Right.
You can dredge in Washington. It's just other rivers are very hard to.
Yeah,
some rivers are
the dredging is very regulated here.
Like the South Fork Nooksack up in Whatcom and Skagit Valley, or it's mostly Whatcom County. I love that frickin' river, but it's a major fishery river, and the Nooksack Indians control it. A lot of it, so it's like about impossible to get dredge permits anymore, and it was really hard even back 20 years ago, 25 years ago when I was back there dredging. But,
yeah, and even if you could get out there and dredge, just like our schedule that we work on, most of the major rivers where you would want to dredge around here, they're only open for 14 days. I think that's what the sky's open, right?
Yep. 15 days, yeah.
15 days, that's it. Well, out of that 15 days, we're going to get 2 days on that river. And I'll be the first one to tell you, I'm not burning vacation time at work to dredge. My butt's going to be in the Caribbean.
Dredging on my own claims on Finney Creek. It's a tributary to the Skagit River. You might have heard of it. There's some
it sounds familiar.
Platinum and nice coarse gold up there.
Platinum?
But yeah,
we might need to go look into that.
There's actually a platinum mine up on G Point, up above Finney Creek. But
write that down.
The dredging window was 30 days.
That would have been nice.
It's like every weekend you're up there. Boom. I know it's not long enough, but still, man, a short time. But like on the Sky, you said 14 days.
Yeah, I mean, the Sky, most of the major rivers where you would want to dredge are very limited in your time frame. We have a number of people have contacted us and said, hey man, we'll take you out, we'll let you dredge on our machine, and we'd love to do that. The problem is getting schedules to line up. Because like for Mike and I, Monday's our day. Well, everybody else is, they're out dredging Saturday, Sunday. So it's always just been a balancing act of trying to find when I can hook up with some of these people. And, believe me,
find an old retired guy.
Yeah, I mean, believe me, the day that Mike and I can get hooked up with somebody on a dredge, we're going to film the crap out of it. And, just to share a different aspect, because mostly what we focus on is testing, basic prospecting. And then once we get set up, it's like drag in the gold hog stuff and just kill an area.
Randy Hutt has another question. Do you use dowsing rods to find gold?
No. We prefer shovels and gold pans. Yep. Shovels and gold pans. I've heard of people doing it.
I doubt.
But I mean,
anti-resident dowser.
Yeah, it's just not. I'll just say it's something I haven't tried.
Right.
And I'm not opposed to it, just haven't tried it.
Right. There you go, Randy. I know we're limited with you tonight, guys. So anyone has questions, shoot them out now. We only have about 10 more minutes with the Goose and Magik Mike. Let's get some phone calls in here. Make this number worth paying for.
Dial it now.
Magik Mike, how you doing over there, man?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
You had to run out of the screen. I know you didn't really want to be on.
I'm not a big talker.
Now,
he does all
how'd
the
you
talking.
two meet?
Yeah, right. Well, we see that. You and Dana would be really good together. You'd sit there and say nothing all night.
I'm always looking at the chat room.
Yeah.
I know
somebody's got to be the brains behind the talking.
Yeah, he's the brains of the operation. I just lift heavy stuff.
I just lift heavy stuff.
Yeah.
I fix equipment for Ed.
Yeah,
he's the mechanic.
Yeah. When Murphy shows up, Dano fixes it.
I kick his butt. That's all right.
Oh man,
we have a good time on the creek. That's what matters.
That's all that matters.
Now, did you two meet?
Oh yeah, it's about having fun, you know.
On the river or what? How'd you two actually meet?
It was a private chat room, and some messages got to
Craigslist.
No, we actually worked together back a few years ago.
No wonder you spoon so much.
No, we worked together, and one of the one of the guys we worked with was like, "Oh, hey, you're into gold mining?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's, "Oh, you should go talk to him over there." So I dragged over there, and I was like, "Hey, so I hear you kind of like gold and stuff. Maybe we should like get together and maybe find gold."
And I didn't like him before that until I found out that he liked gold mining.
Gotta have something in common, right?
Yeah.
Now, our friend from yonder, I believe he names. He's an actual miner. I believe he's up in Canada somewhere. I think you brought it up before, but I'm having some timers. He's like, think you might try making some bars, Goose and Mike, or experimenting with refining.
That is
something we'd love to.
I'll just say that's something we're keeping under wraps for right now. There's some future plans of some
Top
stuff.
secret.
At the point it is right now, Mike and I have discussed it earlier, but it's the problem is it's going to take a little bit of an investment to get it rolling, and right now the Goose is
what does it?
Yeah, exactly. But we are looking at getting some bars. We want to start pouring our own gold buttons, things like that.
Cool.
Very cool.
Razor just came in. I'm trying to talk him into calling real quick before you have to skedaddle.
Yeah, he likes to call. He's never only here for a little bit longer, right? Call him.
Oh man, I don't know if you're gonna want to hear what me and Razor got to go throwing back and forth.
No worries, no worries.
Ray calls in all the time.
Oh man,
he has to go to a function for his daughter choir event, Ray, and you barely made it to our time frame. So call, dude, call.
I will get random calls from. Oh yeah, I get random calls from Ray all the time. It's hilarious.
Somebody would like to see your butt.
Yeah, he just put out a video today.
I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah.
I'll have to check that out. I'll be watching it with my headset at the choir.
It had to do with his workbench.
Ah,
Little contraption he made with his workbench.
Oh, cool! I'll definitely check that out.
Oh yeah. So I've been kind of binge watching your videos because I'll be honest, I haven't really watched a lot of your videos, but hilarious stuff.
It's
watch them as soon as they hit the air.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Our videos are. Yeah, our videos are kind of, and I'd say 99% of all the comments on our videos are really positive. I mean, people love what we do, out having fun, and but there is a few people that give us, you give prospectors a bad name and da-da-da-da, and we're just like, whatever, man.
Have you seen, what's his name, Gold Father?
Oh, yeah, we know. Yeah, that's Kevin.
That was hilarious.
Yeah.
All right,
dude.
We got a caller. I believe it's Ray. Caller, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Mr. Ed, how you doing? This is Ray. How you guys doing?
Hey, Ray. How you doing, bro?
Razor Ray.
Just got home, man. Just got home. Actually, it took me a couple extra minutes. My panning bucket was stinking real bad, so I had to clean out my panning bucket. It had some funky water in it.
Okay.
How's it going, Ray?
So what's the goose doing? You going to your daughter's dance recital or something?
Oh, we got a choir event tonight, and I think she's got a solo part in it. So I've got otherwise we'd stay on here for a while chit chat, and this kind of happened last second. So it's
I had to fly down real quick. I'll do a duet with her. I got a hell of a singing voice.
Oh man.
Maybe not as good as Todd Hoffman, but I'm close.
Oh Lord. Our hero.
You guys all be begging for the sound of silence you hear me singing.
I can imagine.
Oh man, I understood that reference, Ray.
Oh, good to see you got a pretty big crowd tonight, Ed. We got Thomas in here and Ant-Man, Rag. We got just about everybody in here. It's a pretty good night tonight.
Yeah, how many people total we got watching tonight?
Right now, it looks like 36.
I have 38 on my board.
Okay.
We only got 22 likes, though. Somebody hit that thumbs up.
At one time, I think we actually hit 40. Didn't quite get the numbers you had last night, Goose, but I was hoping.
Hey, it's everybody's schedule's a little bit different,
That's
and
true.
Right.
We probably, like one person had even posted in our video yesterday was, maybe you should do this when people aren't at work.
Yeah, and I know with us being 3 hours apart, it makes it kind of hard, like Saturday I'm doing a across the pond special with the Nazi, and he's 16 hours ahead of me into Sunday when we'll be doing the show. So
oh wow.
But yeah,
and some of our viewers, that's why the numbers were higher earlier, because some of our viewers are overseas, so you know it's pretty late for them. So you know,
I just noticed
Magic
the TV
Mike,
screen.
you
No
gotta
Magic
take your
Mike's on
jacket
there
off.
too.
yeah,
Oh yeah.
gotta out.
I was just now noticing the screen there. Oh, Magic Mike's in there with you, Goose.
Yeah, he
Hey,
is.
Mike, what you doing, bud?
Ray Rusa, you're an amazing person. I gotta say it.
I want to know. I want to know how how Magic Mike puts up with you filming and he's shoveling.
Well, if I start getting tired, I'm like, hang on, I got to go adjust this camera real fast. He's like, no, get over here and shovel dirt.
Excuses all the time. Nah, he works hard when he works.
Yeah, when I do work, I work very hard.
The more you move, the more you.
I don't know. When we seen you on TV, all you're doing is taking off your britches.
He does that in real life too.
I can't help it. I get close to a body of water and I start peeling clothes off. Oh man. No, but we are speaking of cameras and stuff. It looks like we might have somebody that's going to start coming out with us. He won't be on film, but he'll be running. He's got all the nice 4K cameras, drones.
He'll be your cameraman, huh?
Yeah. We're looking at bringing a camera guy out with us, and he said he'll work for Nutrients. So that's a deal for us.
Right on. We need to get a deal like that.
You need to make sure that he doesn't get the gold fever though. Because once he gets that gold fever.
Yeah, once the gold fever hits, then he's going to start wanting a slice of that pie.
That's when we drop him and get another guy.
Yeah, that's when it's like, hey, we know you've been doing some real hard camera work for us, but it's probably time that we go our separate ways.
We setting the camera down and grabbing the shovel and here, Goose, you doing camera.
Yeah, exactly.
At least Goose can't say that he can't do anything because he is busy camera filming and all that.
Right. Now I actually have to work the whole day. But that's the one tough part about this is trying to set up cameras. I mean, most of what we shoot is just on my cell phone. And then getting GoPros set up, and it always, cameras fall over, batteries run out, and constantly bouncing around trying to making sure the cameras are good to go. It's kind of a pain sometimes.
Yeah, I got to agree with that. Setting up a camera is a pain in the butt, and trying to find the right cameraman to work with you is a lot of work too.
Yeah, it is. When I was doing Devil's Canyon, working all those cameras every day, I honestly, by the time I was done there, I wanted to throw the cameras into the river.
I'll bet. Give it up all together, huh?
Oh, man, it's just every morning jamming time code, making sure time code matched with both of the big cameras. Then, they wanted you to film everything. And it's like, listen, I want to move dirt. I want to find gold. And they're like, well, you got to make sure every morning you wake up, you do this, this, and this. And that would easily eat up 3 or 4 hours of my day just messing with cameras.
Yeah, I know one thing. I get sick of playing with the cameras and stuff. I'd rather be digging.
Yeah. It cuts into your creek time when you do it.
Yep. Yeah.
The more material, the more gold.
Yep, absolutely.
That's right.
That's the name of the game, isn't it, Mike?
Absolutely.
And here in Ohio, you got to get all you can get.
Yeah.
You said we could have you for an hour and 15. We're going on an hour and 16. I know we've had you for
I just
30
got the
minutes
wave
more.
from the spousal unit. She just gave it the
Kill it. Kill it.
You got to sleep with it, so we don't want you. We don't want you waking up missing anything. So, and like we said before, family's everything, and number one.
Wake up with half of a gold pan in the
Yeah, that's how she sends a message. My gold pan gets cut in half.
Sleep with that.
Ray, thank you for calling, my friend.
Not a problem, man. I'm just glad to see everybody on the show. And hey, Goose, don't work that Magic Mike too hard, man. You got to keep him around. He's pretty entertaining.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. He ain't going anywhere anytime soon.
When you guys going to get back on the river? You figure? March?
Next Monday.
Next Monday.
All right.
There's always somewhere in Washington, unless it's the ice and snows to sea level, right?
Yeah. We even if it snows, we're still out digging, but it's just Bear Den is just frozen rock solid. So we're hibernating that. We're gonna go hit some of our other areas. Yep.
Yeah, I used to go out year round back home too. I was a lot younger then too, though. I'm getting close to 60 now. Got a couple more.
Well, hey guys, I hate to do it, but I have got to run.
Hope we could get you back some other time when you have a little more time. Would that be cool?
Absolutely.
Thank you, Goose.
It's nice having you guys.
It's great having you guys on. Mike, great having you. Thank you all very much. Have a great time tonight.
Yep, we will.
Thank you.
May you always have a flash in your pan, bros.
Take it easy, man.
Thank you.
Take it easy, guys.
Good night.
I think I'm back.
You're back. Sounds better too, Jesse. Razor. Now we have another celebrity in the house. We have Razor.
What's up, Razor?
I think Razor.
I know.
Uh-oh, he's back on.
And then they make fun of me for not taking off my jacket.
Now he's on the net. Are you still there, Ray? No, I think Ray bailed. But that was good. It was really cool talking to Mike and Goose. Hopefully we'll be able to get them back before too long. And shoot. Any suggestions who we might pick up? Oh, well, I have a pretty good list. Oh, you know, I was going to do a shout out for a group of metal detectorists earlier in the show, and we just didn't get there because of Murphy. But the Backwood Boys, they're a bunch of metal detectorists, and they're doing a oops, don't want that.
What'd you do there, buddy?
Don't want that. I don't know their URL.
I don't know.
Check out the Backwoods Boys, and
Chris says do a hiveaway.
They're having a
giveaway time. He says
500 subscriber appreciation giveaway, and they're trying to get to 800 subscribers by the 1st of January. Jacob seems like a really cool kid, so search them out. I thought I had their link handy, but I guess I was wrong.
Well, I'm trying to get Gary Drayton to come on. I haven't really talked to him too much, but
well, yeah, you introduced me to him on Facebook chat that one time.
Right. You know, I think he would be a fun guy to talk to.
Yeah, he's the metal detectorist from Curse of Oak Island, right?
Yeah, right. Which good thing I'm recording.
and then
I don't know what happened a minute ago, man. You said I saw where you typed in I was getting static, so I tried to refresh it and it turned off, and then I noticed my battery was dead on my phone, so I had to jump onto my tablet.
Oh well, you sound a lot better now, buddy.
Well, that's good. So that was a pretty good show. I didn't get to ask.
What about Eric from Ice Cold Gold? Oh, we could see about that. We'll have to work on that. I've been wanting to talk to Jesse and Josh from Ice Cold Gold.
Right.
Welcome
I've been
back,
trying to talk
Lee.
to them too.
But next week we have the Relic Recoverist and Slash, the Crazy Lamp Lady.
The Crazy Lamp Lady.
I like those videos, Dana.
I do. Did you watch some of them?
Oh yeah, I've been watching more of those than the Relic Recoverist. But
and I actually have a lamp for her to look at. I took pictures of it. I want her to tell me what it is.
Oh, there you go. You'll have your chance next Tuesday. And then on the 9th of January, we have Jovan Hutton Pulitzer. His friends call him Comrade or Commander. That should be real interesting too. And we're going to have an open mic night, and our friend from Green Mountain Gold Traps, Joseph, Brother Joseph, joined with us on the 26th.
Chris says to get Todd Hoffman.
Yeah, I don't think so.
No, thank you, Chris. No, thank you. I don't even want Todd Hoffman on. I'd rather have Freddie Dodge on, or Dakota Fred, or shoot, Jim Thurber. Actually, Jim Thurber came into one of my Facebook Live chats once.
Oh, cool.
Hi, Angelina. But, yeah. So, we're doing pretty good with lineups. We have Sam Waters on the 16th of January. Another Washtonian, Dennis Peterson from YouTube on the 23rd. And then a Motherlode Prospector on YouTube, Reed Lukens on the 30th.
Right.
And then we have Wayne Nugget Brain Peterson from Watts on February 6th. And then from there, I'm still working on guests.
Tom can't find gold in a jewelry store.
I hear you, man.
I didn't say that.
Oh, no, Michael Walker said it.
I know.
Oh, that's bad, but that's funny.
I've talked to Dan Zoller about being on. He's a fellow YouTuber and stuff. Check out his channel. But he's so far denied us. I having a diva moment or something.
Oh, come on, Dan. You can do it.
You can do it.
You can do it. That's right.
Chris Chadwick.
What kind of YouTube videos does he do?
Prospecting.
Is he any good? Or is he boring?
Hey, whoa, now who's Dan?
Hey, Gary Anderson. Work on that for us, Chris.
Never did get a chance to hit Goose up about the dream mat.
Oh, well, one of these days.
Oh, that's all right.
Well, hopefully we'll get him on again. This show could have went on a lot longer, with them if they was able. But I definitely understand where they were coming from. I wouldn't miss my daughter's.
Oh, no, sir. Families first.
For hanging out with you guys, no matter how much I love all of you guys and like all of you, we're one big happy flash in your pan family. Ray's gonna take out his Sluice Super Bowl Sunday. There you go.
Neither have we, Dan. We haven't been out this month. Or were we out last month at all?
I have.
Oh, you don't count.
Whatever. I even called you, or I texted you and tried to get you to go.
I know. You saw my comment.
I know.
wish.
All you had done is make it to my house, and from there I'd have had you, brother.
Speaking of that, I'm probably going to be doing a Boy Scout thing with
Ben Shears.
With Ben Shears.
At their Klondike Gold Rush in northern.
Right, Indiana, right. He's about 80 miles from me, so I told him, I'd do it. Because, you get 20 people that say they're going to show up, and you're lucky to have 4.
Right.
Dan said he lost his computers. No Skype. You have a cell phone, Dan? Is it a smartphone? They have Skype app.
He don't want to come on here.
Yeah.
He just he's a diva.
I'd like to get all of us YouTuber prospectors out on.
Sure. It's always fun to talk to the prospectors and hear what they got to say and their ideas about certain things. As long as we don't get political. It'd be a fun show.
We try to stay out of the political part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a time and a place, but not here.
And this ain't the time or the place.
No, it was just like
maybe if we had Walter from Public Lands for the People, or we had Shannon Poe from AMRA on, then definitely we could get into that area and be enlightened in some ways. But other than that, it's talk about gold, talk about our lifestyle.
And hopefully get the meat on the creek.
Call in, maybe he might. What the heck is going on here?
I don't know. What the heck's going on, Joe?
Oh, I got a commercial.
Got a commercial?
Yeah. Did you do a commercial?
No, but I need to.
I got you on the half hour when I didn't get you on the hour one.
Yeah,
Dang it.
Okay. All right. A little late, but better late than never.
That's right.
We'll be right back from this short break from our good friends at Prospectors Radio.
Call in, Dan. After the commercial.
Yeah. Would love to, Chris, but I don't have nothing to give away. Really handy.
What's he giving away?
Angela. I don't know. Oh, I see your comment there. What you giving away, Chris?
I got a pair of dirty socks if somebody wants them.
I got some dirty underwear.
Oh, Lord.
My underwear beat your socks, dude.
Talladega Nights. Room. Chris says silver.
Silver. You giving away some silver tonight, Chris? We'll gladly give it away for you.
Yeah.
We still got Ed choked up.
Oh, check that out. Silver Walking Liberty.
All right. Well, you hear that we have a sponsor for a giveaway tonight by our friend Chris Chadwick over at Eastern.
Call in, Chris.
Call in, Chris.
Yeah, call in. Don't be a scared.
Don't be a scared of us. You know us.
Connection with.
Yeah, you even met me. I come over and met you in North Carolina.
That's right. Flash a number up there.
Flash the number.
Yeah, the phone number.
The Ed Marvin hotline.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm looking for it now.
I don't know it by heart. I should have written it down so I could type it when I need to.
Well, I put it on my phone here, so.
Okay. Are we going to do random names?
Yeah, on those that are in right now talking. So if you're in the chat room and you're not talking, you better talk. While he takes your number down.
And they're trying to censor everything in the chat tonight.
Are we having bots in there tonight?
Look at that. Even Patrick's trying to post your number and it won't let him show it until one of us approves it.
Oh, that's
Really?
because he's not a moderator.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
I approved him. So your number's up there 1,000,000 times, buddy.
I'll have to make him a moderator. Hello, caller. What's your name and where are you calling from? Let me guess. Chris Chadwick calling from
West
Virginia.
It's got to be Chris.
It's absolutely.
Absolutely.
How you doing, Chris?
Absolutely. Great show tonight, guys, by the way.
Why, thank you, my friend.
Yes, and Ed, great show. I've got a couple giveaways for you. They're both the same.
Nice.
Cool.
I got a couple Walking Liberty, 1 gram silver Walking Liberties. They are a limited edition.
Can you turn off the show for a second, Chris?
Sure, let me do that. Hang on. Yep. Okay, I turned it off there.
All right.
Yeah, because I'll tell you what, I was getting a delay there too.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but what I got in, I just got these in a few weeks ago. They're little, they're silver rounds. They're 1 gram silver rounds. They're the Walking Liberties. I can't remember what company it was I got them from. They just look pretty neat, and I think I ordered like a couple dozen of them and put them in some of the little gem jars. Man, they're beauties. But
nice.
The thing is, the fractional silver. I don't know how much you were into the gold and silver. I guess kind of goes together the same. But a lot of people that are gold miners also collect silver eagles and Morgans and dollars and everything. Well, the big thing now has been people are trying to get fractional silver, Jess and Ed, to where they want to get a tenth of an ounce or less. They want to get some. If the heck hits the fan and everything goes to heck in a handbasket, people are saying, what do I trade my loaf of bread for? And it's like, well, not a whole silver dollar that's worth 20 bucks or more, but fractional silver would be something that might be worth $1 or $2. And so these are kind of neat. They're oddities. They're kind of expensive just from the sheer fact that they're expensive to manufacture. When you start getting down to grams and tenths of ounces and quarter of an ounces and stuff, the manufacturing, running it through the stamp mills and stuff when they're making it, raises the price on it. But I got a pretty good deal on these, so we can give a couple of them away today, and people just have to send me a Facebook Messenger message would probably be the easiest thing tonight. They can pull me right up there.
We do have some Canadians in the house, and we might even have someone from Great Britain or somewhere else. Yeah, we have Rostam.
If you get those people, I have no problem, but they get to pay the postage is all I can tell them.
Okay, if you're from Canada or overseas, you could talk to Chris about
it might be more expensive than what the winning prize is, though. Is the only thing about it. So somebody from Canada or overseas, I don't know, since it's a semi-valuable prize, being semi, if it would be worth the postage to get it out of the country. But I'll let them decide that if they want to, for something that aspect. I just actually was, years ago there, I did some pay dirt for a while, and it's kind of how I started out with my group 4 or 5 years back or longer, and gave a bag away just recently when we hit a little over 4,000 members. And
man, you're just climbing up there, aren't you?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, it's the biggest group on the East Coast. And the thing about it is, Jess, we could be a whole lot bigger if we weren't so selective about who we let in there. We really scan each profile to see if they got an interest in prospecting, to keep people that really don't have an interest or just want to really kind of spam the membership or things like that. And we've got pretty tight rules to try and keep it to where it doesn't become classified ads. We did go ahead a few months back, about 6 months back, start an East Coast prospecting buy-sell trade group now. It's got about 500 members already on it. We don't really promote it much, but we send people over that way, and it gives them an avenue here to do the same. But we basically keep everybody in the group from the U.S. and Canada. We're kind of mainly a North American group, but we let
other countries into. We just want to make sure they've either got some kind of contact here in the U.S. or to make sure it's a clean profile. We just try to keep everybody, legit on the site as much as we can. We take a lot of pride in keeping it truly a prospecting group, so people aren't on there selling sunglasses or spamming membership and stuff.
I do have a list of names. Wanna pick a name now, Chris?
Are they numbered, or how do you want to do it?
Oh,
I've turned the YouTube off.
Random name generator.
Yeah, I can do that. Go right ahead. And then you just need to have them contact me, and then give me their address, and we'll do a couple of them here, Jess. And I mean Ed.
All right, cool. Very cool.
Okay, I'll get that.
Yeah, we gave a bunch away that one night you had me on.
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
you like
Thank
to do
you.
that. We appreciate it too. I'm sure the members appreciate it too.
They like that. It's always fun to get something for free.
Right.
Can't be
I
free.
wish we could do it more often, but we're poor white boys.
No, we're not.
Well, not all
Like
of
I
us.
said, now this is semi-valuable, so I probably still fall in that same category with the poor white boys too.
Okay,
He's
here
from
we go.
the
What do we
United States. Jaron, Gilhold, Chris Chadwick, and
Mr. Loadout.
Just send me a Facebook message there. It'll be fine.
I believe he's part of East Coast Prospecting.
Well, that should be easy for him to get in touch with me then.
Yep. Just tell him Ed Jesse sent you.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, we're just getting ready to hit 4,100 members. We've added about 100 the last couple of weeks. I think we're like 44,086 or something like that. Last I looked when I was on there earlier tonight, but it's a fun group. It kind of started just by sheer accident. I know we already talked about this on the time I was on the show before. Right. It was one of those things where we just kind of started networking. There wasn't really anything that was labeled East Coast, and a lot of people, when prospecting really started hitting the fan, people started picking up on it. 5, 8, 10 years ago. Think of West Coast and California and Alaska, and it was just kind of a way to get some more notoriety out here to say, hey, there's places in Ohio, Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Connecticut, Vermont, and people aren't like, really, there's gold on the East Coast. I mean, it's amazing still how many people don't realize there's gold out here also.
It's still amazing to me too, because in Ohio and stuff, right? We got out in North Carolina, and it was nice. It was great. But I really like being in Ohio and getting gold here. I mean, it's just...
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. A lot closer to home, too. You can get out the door and be there in an hour or two.
Yeah, and I know you come visit us here in Ohio quite a bit, Chris.
Yes,
I'm on the border, and I cross the bridge. I'm actually right there on the Ohio, Kentucky, West Virginia border, and I work Ohio. I go all the way up towards Chillicothe and all the way to Peebles, and I work every day about an hour and a half, 2 hours in my business, but it's... For me, I love working Ohio. And the thing about it is people don't realize is it's not just finding gold in Ohio. We're getting nice little pickers and chunks and flakes and nuggets. I mean, you and I all know the OSPA and the GPAA. I mean, they pull some nice gold out of the state of Ohio, without a doubt.
Oh, yeah.
When people think, oh, that's just all fine gold. And I'm like, no. Not at all. Not at all.
It all adds up.
It all adds up, and I tell you, I've been on several trips to, we won't tell all our secret locations, but where we pulled up quite a bit of gold, whether it's running a 4-inch or a mini high bank or just panning. I mean, there's been some hot spots here and there if you know where to look, and you find the right spot that's kind of off the beaten path.
Or you have friends.
Absolutely. You can't beat friends. There's no better than that. The only thing is, I think the thing that discourages so many people still is the fact that it is work. And people just, I don't care what kind of machinery you got, equipment, whether you're setting it up, taking it down, prospecting, doing everything, for the $5, $10, $15 worth of gold you get or more, if you get a great spot in a good area, you could go out and work a regular job for 6, 8 hours and make a lot more than what you are on a stream.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
But if that's what it was about, I'd be doing something else.
Right. Exactly.
If that's what it was all about, why would I want to drive 2 hours, bust my ass for, $10, $15 worth of gold that's what
not
it was
even
all
gas
about.
money. Not even gas money.
Right. Right.
My wife didn't understand it till I actually took her with me. She said, "You mean you drove all the way down to Buckingham County in Virginia and spent the last 3 days and you bought back $20 worth of gold?" And I'm like, "Honey, you don't understand. It's about the hunt." She said, "The hunt?" I said, "Just like guys go play golf all day long, I'm going out and playing in the stream all day long. They don't make anything unless they want a big bet on the golf course, and I don't want anything unless I hit a nice hole, you know." And it's kind of it's all about, you know, just the outdoors, the camaraderie. I mean, the outings, of course. I think we probably do more carrying on and eating and talking than we do ever digging and having fun.
Right. I've gone to more, I don't know, about 4 or 5 gold rushes now. I don't think I've really ever worked any of the gold rushes as far as digging for gold. You know, it's always been just socializing and hanging out and you know, sitting around the campfire, just having a good time. You know.
That's
I didn't get to do this year's gold rush. My dad had some medical problems there, so I didn't get to go out to Indiana. I didn't end up at Gold Rush days. I mean, now he's down at Duke right now. He's got his 3rd week of treatment for lung cancer. But you know, I've kind of fallen off the radar here the last probably 2-3 months. Everybody's like, "Where you been hiding?" I'm like, "Hey, I'm still here." It's just family comes first, and the hobby of prospecting and carrying on is kind of just taking a back seat. But you know, good news is Dad's doing well, and it looks like he could have a good, strong recovery here, and still keep on at 83 years old. Maybe we can get another 20 more years out of him, make him 103.
There you go.
So we're just crossing our fingers there. But that's what people kind of asked me. The last couple of people messaged me, "Where you been? I haven't talked to you." And it's like a couple guys traded bags of pay dirt with me, and they said, where have you tried that pay dirt yet?" And I said, "Nope, it's still sitting on the counter down there in the gold room." I said, "I haven't touched it." I said, "But I got a lot of, now that the snow's flying, I'm really kind of glad I didn't get into it yet, because I got some time now that I can work the miller table, and I can do some free hand panning. I can set up the recirculator in the garage." I said, "Now, just like week before last, I finally got my dredge winterized and put up in the garage. And Lord, that thing, I hadn't had it out for, I think the last time I was up on the side of the river there, down in Spriggs, and with the wife probably, 6-8 weeks ago or something. It was the last time that I had it out. But it turning cold quick.
Like people are saying in here, you know, like life and family is first, you know.
Right. It has to be. Yep. Well,
you gotta take care of that stuff first.
Families first. You know, unfortunately, we all know that our jobs come second, because that's what puts food on the table. Then the hobbies and not hobbies. Don't say the dirty word. The passions, passions that we have of life and lifestyle, the things we like to do, and get out and have some fun and enjoy the great outdoors kind of has to come third, you know. But hopefully you can bring the family into that, you know, from that aspect. But let me look here and see if that person actually messaged me yet or not.
Did you pick the second person yet?
Jaron Wheeler. No, not yet. I can though.
I did. I got it. Yep, I got it from here. I just got Jaron.
Jaron Wheeler.
Yep, from Utah. So I got him telling him he's taken care of.
Okay,
so
ready for another one?
Ready for another one.
Chris? All right. Drum roll, please.
He's got a lot of friends. They're mutual friends. He's got 12 mutual friends. Poor guy.
Angelina Horn.
Angelina.
Oh, I know Angela. She's a big person that's on East Coast all the time. She's probably one of our favorite members.
Cool.
And I think she's actually won. I think she's won some things in the past too already. So she's probably a second time winner.
Congratulations, Angelina.
Oh yeah, she'll probably get on here and send me a text and tell I ain't talked to her in a little while. I'm sure she'll
give her an excuse to talk to her.
Oh yeah, we'll get her taken care of. So looking at her profile, she's not hard on the eyes either.
Yeah, I noticed that myself.
Yep. Thank you, Chris Chadwick and Chadwick Farms.
You gotta be careful saying that kind of stuff nowadays, Chris.
What's
that? You know what? I'm not sure how much trouble I get in just to tell somebody they're pretty. You're in trouble. She's from Wisconsin. I actually have her address. She's won some stuff before.
Just box up
Well,
with
you
all
know
the
what?
other
I
stuff.
don't mind it when people call me ugly and fat, though.
Well, that's personal preference, I guess.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I tell you what, this world of political correctness,
Yeah.
I think they just need to get to the point where people need to realize that, you know, sometimes you're going to misspeak or you're going to say something. It's never meant by design to offend somebody in any way, shape, or form.
You know that. I think one of my favorite songs right now, just this point, is an Eagles song called "Get Over It."
That's true. Yeah. That's a real good one, without a doubt. There.
I won't try to sing it. Trust me.
So when's the next big get together? Are they going to do the up in Columbus at Cabela's? Is that the next time that people are getting together, or what's
January for us, PA.
Yeah.
I might try and sneak up there to that.
Yep,
I
January.
haven't been to a meeting forever. I might sneak up there. That would give me an excuse to.
You remember, right? You remember the
Oh yeah. I have been for 2 or 3 years now. I just don't get out much anymore like I want to. I think I only got out to. I think I got out to double D maybe twice this year, 3 times maybe.
Did you make it to Prospector days?
Nope, I didn't get Prospector. I didn't get to do. Once my dad got sick, everything just kind of got put on hold. And I don't think that the only thing I did, I probably didn't do anything from midsummer on, with the exception of one weekend when Dad went out of town. Like I said, me and my wife went down to Spriggs in Lucasville, and I drug the dredge on the back of my son's truck. My son was out of town. He went down to Florida. He's an engineer now. He graduated from Marshall University, and he's a civil engineer working for the Army Corps of Engineers, and went down to Florida to help the people from the disaster relief from the hurricanes. And I used his truck that weekend, which is kind of nice. I snuck out, and the water was way down there on the soda, and I drove right out there on the gravel bar and pulled the dredge out with the wife and I ran a gas tank on the dredge that evening after lunch, and then loaded it back up and came home, and the cons are still sitting in the garage. I have no idea what's in them. Haven't even panned them or anything.
You got all winter to go through.
Yep, I've got plenty of dirt. I got some cons from North Carolina with my big buddy Jimmy Smith down there. I went down there twice early, once in the spring and once early summer. I've got cons, and also there's another guy that invited me down when I went to see Jimmy. I swung over there to meet with him at one of those no-tell-'em creek spots, and he couldn't run a dredge there as per the landowner's request. He said no gasoline, so we did the 12-volt deep cycle mini high banker and set up, and we ran maybe 10, 15 buckets for him, did a clean out, then ran 10 or 15 me, did a clean out, and the same thing. Bucket of cons is still sitting in the garage untouched. I've got so much concentrates and pay dirt swaps that I've
Poor Chris. I feel so bad for you.
Normally, normally I'd have gone through that stuff in a few weeks after, but that's shortly after Dad got that diagnosis, and the next thing you know, man, it's like
I go through mine too.
Oh yeah, but then you know what? Like we got a half inch of snow today. It's colder and crap down here at the moment, and I'm just thinking, well, this is just going to be some nice gold room garage panning, recirculating, just going to do some finished sluice and just have some fun and look and see what we possibly have.
And what's fun about doing that too is you get to do a little bit for a little while. I'm going to do something else and then come back to it later. So you got something that you do all winter.
Oh yeah, you got
no hurry.
You got it. Well, I got plenty of buckets of that. I know the last time I went down there with Jimmy and I went to that other spot. I'm not mentioning the guy's name because I don't know if he wants me to or not. But when I was with Jimmy, I went to that one spot for the day on a Saturday, and then I went with Jimmy to his spot when you and I and Ed went down there to the LDMA. That was the same guy, Jimmy, I went with up in that little private property spot.
Right. We saw the gold you got from there.
Yeah, I was kind of envious. Little private Idaho go-to. I had no telling.
Hey, Ed, we could have had that much gold if we would have worked.
Well,
there's no doubt.
Did a lot of exploring. First time down at that camp, but Vane Mountain was really nice.
And they had told me, the caretakers are, you can go down there once a year as a GPAA member.
Right.
And I thought that's really nice. I said, just to have an extra weekend to pop down there, call them ahead of time, and you can come down there. And I did not realize that you could actually do that.
Yeah.
And that was pretty nice.
You're not a LDMA member, Chris?
I am not.
Oh, okay.
I am not.
Well, sometime we could go down and you could come as our guest.
Well, that'd be great.
Bring your dredge.
That would be great. We can bring the,
bring your dredge.
You can bring the dredge. I can bring the high banker. Hey, you know what I did get? I want to try this week if I can. I'm gonna put it in my car. Is I got Doc from Gold Hog's flow pan this week. I got one of the prototypes that he sent to me, and told me to give it a shot and see what I thought of it, and make a video or two to post on East Coast prospecting. And I got it early, I guess they're not shipping out till 1st of January, but now I just got to find the time to go out there and dig. I was thinking about going down there to Double D to that pan only area and take it down there, and see if could do any good.
That's right, they got a new area there.
It is.
Yeah, the new section there, right below there. It is a pan. You got it. Like I said, you can only put. The thing with that is, Ed, if you read and listen to the videos, he only wants you to put about a quart of material in there, especially when you first start out with it and you're practicing and getting used to it. And then you can put a whole shovelful in there. But he said the thing is, people want to load it up, but it doesn't really work that way. You can pan that stuff down to concentrates extremely fast. I mean, I'm talking seconds, 15, 20 seconds, a pan's gone.
I watched his video on those. I watched his videos on those.
Oh, the speed of it. And that's the thing I'm thinking, Jess, is, you know what? If you take that pan in a good area, a good trap area, it's hot spot. You can't run any equipment there. All of West Virginia I live in is pan only. But you find a good spot, or you go to like a pan only area, or creek, park, whatever it might be, and you want to try and run some volume. You put your 5-gallon bucket there. You put a shovel in there. You pan it out in 20 seconds, 30 seconds. Dump in the concentrates. Do another one. Right. And then you take that whole entire bucket of concentrates, which it leaves very little material down there. It takes it down to the black sands and gold, and you keep doing that.
You're gonna spend a week trying to fill a bucket up now.
No, exactly. How much is that pan?
Well, the thing is the pan's under $100. It's like $99.
Oh,
it's amazing. I was really surprised because Gold Hog stuff is extremely good quality. What this one is, but it's not the price point. I thought it would be a lot more because. If you remember that other pan he had, that the hog pan or whatever, it's like $300.
Right.
This is one.
The hog that much? That's ridiculous.
Oh yeah. It was expensive.
This pan is less than $100, and I like the looks of it better than the hog pan. I really truly do. And for me, 9 times out of 10, I take all my concentrates home, whether it's from a high banker, whether it's from a dredge, and then I play in my gold room. And finish sluice and recirculate and the miller table. So for me, this is right up my alley to get out into the creek and turn and burn it, get down to the concentrates, the stuff you want to play with, keep dumping in a bucket.
The thing I noticed about that pan, it actually eliminated a couple steps for you.
It actually does.
With the hog pan, you had to wash all your material down, and then you had to remove the rocks, and you had to take this pan compared to that one there, this new pan compared to that one there, eliminates a few steps there where you can, like you said, just get in the creek, get it down to the black sands or the fine stuff and dump in the bucket, throw some more in there. Boom, boom,
and the nice thing is it's not meant just for sand. It's meant for pay dirt. It's meant for gravel, clay, mud, dirt, rock. I mean, it's meant for pay dirt. It's not meant for sand,
right.
Sandbar,
that was the other thing about that other pan too. You couldn't, like, if you were on a sandbar and had a ton of sand, you couldn't run it through there. That was mostly for gravels. Separate the gravel from the heavies.
Well, I tell you what, I haven't got to try it personally, but when I got it into my hands, I was amazed how light it was. I was amazed how easy it is to take the mat in and out. And to me, I mean, you can take that thing and fold it apart and slide it under your front seat. I mean, there's nothing to it. And you're basically looking at 4 wing nuts putting it together. I mean, it's pretty neat. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
it's
excited
fully
to try it. I hope it's
collapsible, so you could backpack it in.
Oh yeah, little
Right.
bungee cord wraps around it, and you're good to go. I can throw that in my car. Don't have to, and I pull along Riverside somewhere and have one of those little,
Well,
GI Joe or
you
military
can do that with
shovel.
the pocket pin from
I was just gonna say the same thing, Ed.
You stick it right in your back pocket.
That was
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, so I mean, it'll be interesting to see. I'm not sure the verdict's still out, but I really appreciate the fact that Doc, got my hands on one early.
Cool.
I wish I'd have got out this week, but I was in meetings with work all week, and I told my wife, I said, I got Friday off this week, and if there's any kind of weather that's decent at all, and even if it's bad weather, I'm gonna do everything I can to get out in the creek with it this Friday.
Oh,
I'm gonna try and get her to go with me so I can get her to film, because I haven't figured out how to pan and film myself at the same time unless I
tripod
or something.
Yeah.
But I mainly use my iPad anymore.
Well,
That's better.
they do have special clamps that can attach to tripods for your phone.
Right. Oh, I need to do that.
But I'm sure Tony would be a great camera person anyway. Huh.
Well, I just ordered a new iPhone 7 Plus.
There's a selfie stick that has tripod feet on it for iPhone.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
I have to get something like that. That's got to be a Christmas gift or something around the corner.
Well, no, dude, that's a Ollie's for $1.99. Get a couple.
You can't beat that. That's even better. We got an Ollie's right here, 15 minutes away. I can do that.
They're right up at the counter.
Really? I'll check that out.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
And here, if you lose it or break it, it's only $2.
It's true.
Ta-da.
That's why I say get a couple of them. That's what I use.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm almost embarrassed to tell you this, but my current iPhone is a 4S. I've missed several generations here, and I've waited until the 8s and whatever that came after the 8, the 9 or 10 or whatever they're talking about right now.
X now. Yeah, the 10.
Yeah, X. Yeah, the X. So it's an 8 and then an X or whatever. Well, I ordered a 7 Plus last night where somebody had upgraded to the X, and I got it on eBay as soon as it got listed. And I got it for a lot less than you normally would pay for them. And it's supposed to be here Thursday, and the person had real good feedback, and they said this thing's like new and always been in a case and a screen protector. So I told my wife, I said, I hope I get a good one because, I haven't had a new cell phone in about 4 or 5 years. This 4S, people look at me and they laugh when they see me pull that thing out. I'm surprised I'm not on a flip phone still. But it's the 4S, I mean, that's not far above the 3G,
Right.
That came out there. But when I remember when the 4S was all the rage because they had Siri on it, you could talk to it, And so now I'm getting the 7 Plus, and the only reason why I'm doing that is because I got a heck of a good buy on it there. It's tough for me to turn loose that kind of money when you're still trying to feed 3 kids. It's just tough.
I'm glad I'm past that point.
Oh, I just had one get married, and that drained me for a good 12 months.
Must have been the daughter, huh?
It was a daughter. Yep. Yeah, I'm still stinging from that one. I told my wife, I said, I'm 52 years old, and I said, this is the most money I've ever spent on something that wasn't a car or a house. Now you think about that. I spent more on that wedding than I ever did. The only other thing I spent more was a car or a house. I've never spent that much on that. Those weddings are not cheap. They see you coming. They see you coming a lot.
And they're laughing all the way to the bank.
Yeah, man. Absolutely.
Daddy sucker.
Oh, yeah. Well, fortunately, since I cater every day, I did have 4 or 5 people that I cater with that from work, where I feed all these doctors and stuff all the time as a pharmaceutical rep.
Right.
That I turned around and got them to help me out a little bit there with the wedding food. So I saved a little bit on that, probably more than the average person, but they'll get it back in years to come. And they've got it back.
You're a caterer, huh?
I'm a glorified caterer. That's what I call myself.
Glorified. That's
glorified
cool.
caterer.
I never asked you what you did for a living.
Sure, you did during our interview.
Did I?
Yeah. You take notes.
I'm a specialty pharmaceutical rep. I mainly do diabetes medicines for diabetics. And I call on family practice, internal medicine. Now, before that, I was in 16 years in med surg, and I actually worked in surgery with the surgeons and stuff with disposables. And then they sold that division to the Japanese, and I came over here to the pharma world. So I went from medical device into specialty pharma, and I'm still kicking. I get another 8 or 10 years in me. Hopefully, I can retire.
Yeah, it's always a dream,
isn't it? Professional gold miner.
So now is Tony gonna go out with you more often since she had such a wonderful time up down in Vane Mountain?
And you know what? She's been going probably the first 2 years that I went prospecting. She did not go, and she probably goes with me about 75% of the time. And probably the only time she doesn't go with me is when somebody like Steve Lyons goes, or I get together with Jimmy Smith or someone like you guys. When I'm going with somebody else and she's got something going on with my daughters or something, but I'd say 3 out of 4 times, she'll go up to Lucasville or, to the Gold Rush days. She'll go up with me, or Prospector days, things like that. She typically goes, and she'll get, she at the LDMA. I don't know if you saw the video. She gets in there and runs stream sluice. She runs the stream sluice. She'll get in there. And she's not afraid of work. I will give her that. I think she's, does she enjoy it as much as me? Nope. But the good news is she still likes the outdoors and likes to spend time with me. And she knows it makes me happy. And just like I go to the beach with her,
that's half the battle, getting them out there.
Yeah. So, it's kind of a trade-off. There's things that I do for her and vice versa, that probably not my favorite thing to do. But, I enjoy seeing her happy and vice versa. So, I've been real fortunate. I got a pretty lucky. I got a pretty great wife. She's pretty special. She really is. A lot of guys complain about their wives, but I'm not one that does that, because I've been pretty fortunate, to say the least. You typically see her with me probably at least 50-60% of the time. And, she goes to the outings, the shows, and all that stuff.
Well, I'm looking forward to the next time we meet up, Chris.
Oh, absolutely. Maybe I'll get up to Cabela's.
Well,
I won't be
do my best to get down to there.
There you go.
But definitely
guys,
go.
I appreciate it.
Oh, no, we appreciate you coming on and talking for a while and helping us, get through the rest of the show.
I filled in Goose's dead spots there real quick. I'm just finally glad that Ed got him on there. I wish I'd known. I put some big promos up on East Coast if I'd known he was on tonight. It'd been a really easy one for me to do, since he's an ECP admin.
You need to follow me then if you're not following me, because I posted.
Well, I am, and I do get it, but I haven't been. I've been in meetings the last 3-4 days straight for a new product launch. Starts January 2nd, and so I haven't even been online. So even though I followed you, tonight's the first night I've gotten on in probably 7-8 days straight.
And I don't like spamming a bunch of groups and stuff,
No, and we don't allow it. But it's something like that. If it's somebody that's affiliated, like where he's an East Coast admin or something, we can make exceptions on things like that, as long as it's approved and good to go. You send me a message.
So am I still approved? Am I still approved?
You're still on there. You're still on there.
Because I know I posted on there one time and you said, yeah, you're approved, but I didn't know if I had to do that every time or.
Pretty
well,
much.
It depends what it is. If I did things for like Ed and Jess's show every week, then everybody else would want to do it every week.
Right.
Obviously,
because then I would.
We've talked about this before with him, Jesse, and when I have, I've messaged him on the side and asked, "Hey, mind if I do a little promo on ECP?" And he's always been gracious enough to allow it. I don't want to take it for granted, though.
Yeah, it's not a big deal. It's not that great a group there anyways, but at least it gives you a little more exposure to a lot of prospectors, since we kind of keep it down. It's a pretty active group mostly, but the only thing is we try to keep it to where, if it's somebody like you guys got something special on there, like I'll just be real frank with you. Like one day I had somebody approach me and they wanted to put every sponsor once a week that was going to do one of the big gold shows. And I said, I can't do that. And they said, why not? And I said, because it's against our rules that we come out. And plus that, I have sponsors. I got 3 or 4 main sponsors. Like, Doc at Gold Hog always sponsors our big giveaways. He's our main sponsor. We turn around and the other big sponsor is Mike Pung. Mike Pung always sponsors East Coast, and he gives something away. Then our third bigger sponsors is Robert Way down there that does the big tours for gold prospecting and stuff. He's always been generous and gives away a nice $100 sluice box or whatever. So we got 3 big main sponsors. And I said, if I let somebody else go and sponsor all the time for free, then why does a sponsor want to do it and pay something or give something away for it?
Exactly.
If it doesn't have any real value and it's not an exception.
Right.
And that's what I tried to explain. I got a couple of people real mad at me, and I said, listen, it's nothing personal. The thing is, we set the group up, and it says that we can do that occasionally. It needs to be approved, and it needs to be a spot. And we appreciate sponsorships just like you guys do for your show. And
right.
I said,
absolutely.
That way you get something out of it. But something when you got an ECP administrator on there like Goose is on there, we can promo the heck out of that stuff, because Goose obviously donates his own free time to admin the group. He's very active in the group. He's a celeb after Devil's Canyon and stuff, and he's a good close personal friend. I got together with him one week in Vegas. Man, I tell you what, you meet him in person, he's a catbird. He's a great guy.
Well, I plan on it.
Yeah,
I definitely want to get a hold of him and Mike next time I'm visiting back home.
There you go. I've actually got family out there in Washington State. My wife's aunt lives out there, and we've talked about getting out that way. It's just we got to get everything taken care of at the house before we make any road trips or plane flight.
I hear you, brother. It's a long road trip.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But, anytime you do it, like you said, all you got to do is reach out and give me a shout. The worst I can say is, no, not at this time, maybe next time, But if I know it's something like Sluice Goose on there, or Jimmy Smith, or somebody that's associated affiliate is either putting time, work, or have you ever had Doc on there, Ed and Jess?
No, I've thought about having him on, but I'm not really a Gold Hog user. Jesse is. I'd love to try his stuff, but
God, I love his stuff, Ed. I love it. I'm telling you, and I've tried some other things and stuff, but to me, I think the big thing with Gold Hog is you have to get it. It's not that it's hard, but you need to get the right setup. So many people don't get the right water flow
with every piece of equipment. You got to
learn your equipment.
Yep. You got to rip it. You do got to rip it. And then when you rip it, man, and then you get less concentrates. When I tell you what, I've gotten it down to a science, I think, with the Stream Sluice. I've got all his mats in my big 4-inch dredge. And the thing is, you can turn and burn it. And I'm telling you, I've tested the tailings. I'm not losing anything. I'm catching some really fine gold in the areas we're at, whether it's NC or Ohio or anywhere, Virginia, where you can run these things.
Everybody likes what they're used to and what they've learned.
Yes.
I don't mind trying new stuff.
Right. But I'll be honest with you too. I have a sluice box and a hog mat in it, and I run it and I like it. I like the fact that I don't have tons of cleanup on it, but I just started using this stream mat, and I tell you what, honestly, I like that better. It's not as it's more forgiving. Because I'm not perfect, so I don't always run exactly the same way. So this mat to me is more forgiving. But I like I said, I used Gold Hog too. In fact, when I first started using Gold Hog up at the Swank, not hardly anybody was using it at all. They were just kind of looking at me, and I started seeing it and noticing that the gold I was getting was a little bit more. And it's a learning curve. You got to learn your equipment.
But you know what? All the guys that I run with whether it's Goose, like you had him on, he's a Gold Hog person.
Right.
Jimmy Smith is. When you look at Paul and Joe Cooper, all them. I mean, I think once you get used to it, it's a heck of a great technology. I mean, you really have a good exchange. It works well, and the thing about it is, he has more than just the mat. He does all the if you're a high banker person or stream sluice person, I mean that stream sluice, God Almighty, you can just sit there anything 3 inches and smaller, shoveled straight into it, no classifying. It does a great job. I got up there in North Carolina where it's stream sluice only on that what's that national forest up there, Uari.
T name says what he says is true. Nothing catches 100%.
Right.
And you got to learn. And it all depends on what material you're running, where you're running, your water. There's a lot of variables with any system. So what works best for you may not work as well for somebody else, and what someone's used to, and sometimes as we get older, we get kind of set in our ways. So some people don't want
but
change.
Hey, Chris,
They're doing it work for them, and
since you're on a personal rapport with Doc, and he's a vault of knowledge in so many different areas in the mining.
Oh yeah, I'd love to have fun.
And small scale mining. I'd love to have him on. I've watched a lot of his videos.
I think you'd probably have double your subscribers, because if he posted on his website plus mine, you probably have 300 or 400 people on there watching. I mean, he's unreal. And the other thing is, he's a good person, but he's a celebrity at a different level. And the thing is, I don't know how to contact him besides email. If I send him an email, he answers me back right away. That's how he prefers to discuss and talk things, and keeps himself as a private person. But I respect that. I understand that completely.
Same here.
But
us.
Oh yeah. Well, one thing we've noticed about inventors and innovators, and they all love their equipment, their inventions more than, and theirs is the best according to them, and that's the way it should be. I mean, I'm not gonna, if I'm inventing something, I got to make. I got to make it the best, right? It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. So, we try to stay out of that part with these different products, but we definitely like using new stuff, and trying new stuff out.
Yeah.
Because
the only thing I don't care for, and this is true with anything in process. We always talk, and you and I've talked, Jess, about this, is they prospect the prospectors and mine the miners, mine the miners. Sort of thing, and then and you and Ed have always been great about this with everything. But there's so many of them out there that spam so many of the groups so hard, and I've had to put them off the group before after a warning or two to say, you know what, you got to quit putting this stuff on there. And it's like I said, they believe in their product and it's the greatest thing in the world. But you know what? Word of mouth's your best advertisement. And if I like it, and Goose likes it, and you like it, Jess, and Paul Cooper and Joe Cooper likes it, they hear about it, that's your best advertisement. But you to get out there and spam the crap out of stuff, the next thing
people get irritated.
They get irritated. They don't want nothing to do with it. They don't even want to try it. They don't even want to try it.
Right. Oh, absolutely. And then here's the thing too. People like when I first started using the Gold Hog mat, people looked, that ain't no good. That ain't no good. And then next thing you know, they're watching you work it. They start working it too, and they go, "Oh, this is really good. I think I'm going to go get some." And that's a lot of it too. Most of us are a bit skeptical about anything new or old, even. So until you actually see a product or actually use the product yourself, you don't really know. You either got to take somebody's word for it and live with it, or you find out yourself,
Right.
And in case anybody's wondering who's on the phone with us tonight, it's Chris Chadwick from East Coast Prospecting.
Or Midwest Prospecting.
Yep, we got a couple.
East Coast Prospecting's Trade Sell, or what's the other one?
Buy Sell Trade. Yep. Outdoors Buy Sell Trade.
You can find them all on Facebook.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
we had some
everybody has their own thing, and that's fine. Like myself at the swing, I like the long time we have there, the wooden one, and I don't have nothing but carpet in it. And I think it's great. I think it's great.
I still run traditional stuff. I still got my expanded metal and my Hungarian riffles, and I got my carpet and my mats and my miner's moss. I still run both. Now, it depends on where I'm at, like you said, material, what I'm going to be doing, what's happening. There's times when I know it's going to be extremely low water flow, and I'm going to have to run a 12-volt battery. And guess what? I'm going to bring out the miner's moss. I'm going to bring out the carpet. I'm going to bring out the expanded metal and the riffles, because the water flow is not going to be such that I feel comfortable running, say, hog mats with what my setup is on my mini high banker.
Hog mats, you gotta have good water flow. You gotta have lots of water. I mean, you gotta run it hard.
You absolutely do. Yep.
Yeah, and I noticed that about hog mat in the beginning too. People would buy it and say it was crap. I mean, you watch how they run it, and they're not running fast enough. They don't have the proper angle.
Now he's got low water mats now. I don't own any of them. So my problem is, it's not that I couldn't do it, but it's like, hey, I've got other setups, and I very rarely am running in low water. So for me, it doesn't make any sense to invest in those when I can just run my carpet and my expanded metal and some riffles, and I'm good to go from there.
All right.
I think Ed's getting the flu.
He's dying over there. He just muted himself.
He's had a cold for a while now.
He's blowing a trumpet.
Yeah, but it's all there's a lot of variables, a lot of different things work. Like I said, it's just plain old carpeting in a wooden box works. If you're in an area where all you're catching is really fine stuff, what do you need the ripples for if it's going to drop down on the carpet anyways? So, there's no ripples in that long time. Somebody said, well, you should put riffles in that. I'm going, why? It's catching gold.
Right.
It's gold's going to do what it does, and that's going to go to as low to bedrock. It's trying to go down. Gravity's pulling it down, so it's going to go down in that carpet. You don't need a bunch of turbulence when you're running stuff like that.
The first time I ever went with somebody, Jess, they gave me a 2-foot long by 6/8-inch wide stream sluice, and it had carpet and it had expanded metal in it. And that's all we ran. And that's all we ran. It didn't have a riffle one in it. And it caught gold. It did a good job, Because you have to look at it in that expanded metal, there's an up and down, there's a little riffle behind each one of those pockets that comes right behind that. When